tomorrow.
No, I completely disagree with you on that. I don't think it's a matter of being hung up on that. I think that's a really important thing to say. That's an enormous character attack on Donald Trump, regardless of what you think of him as a candidate. To accuse someone of being the best recruiter for ISIS, to make up the fact when there's no proof to the American people that there's a video that exists that that his words are being used as a recruitment tool for ISIS, that is egregious in my opinion. I think she should apologize. And there's video proof that Hillary Clinton's husband, Bill Clinton, videos of him were used to recruit terrorists in the past. I don't think that's appropriate at all. Do you not think she should apologize for that?
I absolutely do not think she should apologize for that, even though he is calling for it. He's had some very nasty things to say about his good friend Hillary Clinton, whose wedding he attended. Strange way to talk about a good friend of yours, Donald. I think that the reason why she should not apologize is because Bill Clinton may have been in a video because he was president of the United States, and radical Islamists are going to use photos and images and video of American political figures to try to recruit extremists. In this case, they're using the words. It's not about Donald Trump's character. He may be a fine guy. I've actually heard evidence on both sides saying he is and saying he isn't. It's not about character. It's about the fact that the words he says, that we should ban entire religious communities from emigrating to the United States, that we should ban Muslims, that is rhetoric that's going to make people susceptible to hating America hate America, and it's on that basis that she.
But you're just making that worse though, because you're taking his comments out of context. Now, I'm not coming out and endorsing what he said about temporarily banning Muslims. I think we should do an ideological test, not a religious test. But we've talked before about how all Muslims aren't radical Islamic terrorists, but all radical Islamic terrorists are Muslims. We've also talked before, and we have proof that the vetting process coming into this country for Syrian refugees and other immigrants coming from nations that harbor terrorists isn't effective. There are loopholes. There are ways that they can get in that causes threats to our nation. So I just don't think that's an accurate thing to say.
There are loopholes in every system. You and I have both agreed to this, definitely. But as I've said in the past, the system that we have now, as you said, should there be an ideological test? There is one. There is right now an ideological test that says, do you have ties or do you harbor views that would do harm or seek to overthrow the
but a terrorist isn't going to
self-report
self-report themselves. When they're coming here to harm us, they're not going to self-report. I mean, even if we have a system in place, it's not good enough. Or the woman terrorist from the San Bernardino attack, Tashfeen Malik, wouldn't have gotten into our country. She wouldn't have been able to wage that attack. So I don't think characterizing Donald Trump's words as wanting to ban a whole religious people is accurate. He wants to reform the vetting system so that we can continue to allow people to come into our country without the threat of terrorism.
So, Liz, if that's what Donald Trump wants to do, why doesn't he say that?
He did. His actual quote was that he wants a total and complete shutdown of Muslim immigration to our country until our nation's leaders figure out what the heck is going on. People just don't quote the second part of it.
And the immigration system doesn't work that way. People come to America usually after several years. And again, I am not an immigration expert. I know what I've seen, heard, and read, that we have a robust system in place to check people out, especially when they come from sensitive countries. It includes human intelligence. It includes biometric screening. It includes interviews with people in theater in these countries. I believe we have one of the most robust immigration systems in the world. And we can directly contrast it to Europe, where they have porous open borders. We don't have that. We shouldn't go towards that.
Right. No one's arguing that ours isn't better than some other countries, but I don't think better equates safety. I don't think better means the best. And I think that there are things that we can do because we've had examples where people have gotten through. So even if on paper it theoretically looks like the best, even if comparatively, it's not a matter of comparing. It's a matter of what's the safest for our country now.